Okay, I'm not sure how much time we lost. Not sure where that first segment ended, so I'm just going to repeat a little bit. Sorry, if we have to. So the string shaped circle of fifths is C G D A E. Chuck's good dog always eats Chuck. Backwards in fourths, if you were going backwards, it would go C E A D G. Chuck eats all day. Good Chuck. Okay, so that's one way to remember it. This is how they stack up more or less, right? Unless they hit the tuning warp. And then you have to adjust for the tuning warp, and that's the only thing to remember. It's like a little speed bump. You just have to get over it, and then you can get riding again. So that's how the short patterns work. So we could start any pattern. Say we want to do an E pattern, okay? So we could do an E pattern there. Let's say we're going to start on root. All right, now the E pentatonic doesn't have the seventh in it. So let's just see if we can do, if we're going to do an actual root pattern and we want to start on the F, we can play that seventh, but then we're in almost like a C pattern there. So you got 7 root 2, and then we're going to go 3, 4, 5. So you see we have some aliasing there. 7 root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root. Okay. 6, 7 root 2, 3, 4. Alright, now you know that 5, 6 is that's gonna be an open 5 on the G there. Oh no it isn't. Oh no it isn't, because the fifth of F is C, right? So we've got an F. I'm going to take the capo off for a second just so I can see what's under there. So we're going to play this 7 root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root 2. Okay? So the E pattern in Locrian, okay, can also be played on the open, the open box there. 7 root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root 2, 3, 4. One more time. 7 root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root. Okay, root 2, 3, 4. Now the 5, 6 is warped up. There's your C, D. The fifth of F is C, D. 5, 6, 7 root 2. So that caused a little confusion yesterday, but today I got it right. So let's look at the little box there that we just played. So we can play the short pattern with the C box, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root 2, 3, 4, 5. But over here in the A box, we also have a little short box that we can play in the capo. 7 root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root 2, 3, 4. And guess what? 5, 6 is warped over for us, giving us access to this 7 here. And wonderful, we have basically a Locrian right there. Now, what if you couldn't access that 7 at all and you had to start on root? Okay, so what if I put the capo on the F now and we're going to play an F scale? Now we can't do that. We can't just go, like, we don't get that leading tone. On your mark and say go, we have to start on the 7. Then we're in trouble because we can't get that 7 or the other important scale members, the 3, the 6, and the 2. Nonetheless, the 7 up there. So then we would want to do a long pattern. So we're going to look at get them both on the screen here. We're going to start it on this root, this long pattern here, root 2 3. Okay, so we'll just get this guy and make him bigger. We're over here by the 7 here. All right. Whoa, that's kind of a little too big there. I'm doing like a pre-box here. So here's our little 7 root 2 that we just played. Okay, and now we want to play the long pattern. All right, so it's going to be root 2 3 4 5 6 7 root 2 3 4 5, and then we go up the short pattern. And this A is kind of like part of it is part of the short pattern. So over on the real deal short patterns that I was showing you before, we should have that over here. The A is just the 5 6 on that pattern. So starting on a D up here would be like 2 3 4 5 6 5 6 7 root 2. You have this little 7L shaped thing. All right, it's got a foot going to the right, it's got a stem, and it's got a hat going to the left. Okay, so that's, we've done a lot of classes on the S3D. It's a 7L shaped thing. It's got the little 7 here. Okay, so we get the 7 like this. Here's the little 7. And then the L, you can see it. All that's left is the L. So you got the 7L there. That's the shape of that S3D. The shape of the S2C is just C and G. It's just 2 longs. 2 longs like that. You can do it anywhere. So there's primarily 2 shapes that make the pentatonic scales. There's the S3D and there's the S3C and we can do most of the pentatonic scales with those shapes if you subtract the 4th and the 7. Okay, so for the S2C there, they're going to be long, so you're taking them out of the middle and you'll have 3 5 6 root. For the S3D there, you'll take the 4 and 7 out of the extremities and you're left with an S3 short here. 3 strings, short pattern kind of thing. Okay? So it depends where those 7s and 4s are when you're taking them out of the diatonic to get that pentatonic, and you end up with these nice little 2 shapes here. But there's an extra shape involved here, and it's called the S4E shape. And believe it or not, the S4E shape is the first 4 strings of the E pentatonic shape. Okay, it's got 2 shorts down here, root 2, then it goes to 2 longs, it goes to an S2L there, 3 5 6 2, and then it's got another short up here, but to the left there, right? So it has its own funny little shape. And believe it or not, a lot of these shapes I memorized before I even reasoned them out with these string shapes. Okay, so where were we? We were probably over here. We're going to play a long pattern starting root 2 3, and we're going to take the 4 5 6 and then go into an S4L. If we were to do that pentatonically, it'd just be root 2 3 5 6, and then we play an E shape from there. So it'd be root 2 3 5 6, and then we play an E shape pentatonic from there. Notice I had to split the S2 long there, like that. And that's just your E shape from there. You can start it from the middle string, but just change the E shape as you go through that tuning warp again. So it becomes a different shape at that point. What is that shape?